Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Dunn. Today we're going to start factoring trinomials. This is going to be the first part of a two-part screencast. In this screencast, specifically, we're going to factor trinomials of the type x squared plus bx plus c. And what is unique about this is the leading coefficient is 1. Okay? So let's get started. And what I want to start with is I want to do a brief review of multiplying binomials. Do you remember FOIL? FOIL is a mnemonic device that helps you to remember how to multiply two binomials. So the FOIL in FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last. So let me show you how that works. So here is our two binomials that we want to multiply. So if we multiply that using FOIL, so we're going to multiply the first terms, x times x, then the outer terms, x times 4, then the inner terms, 6 times x, and the last terms, 6 times 4. So first, outer, inner, last. And when we combine like terms, we get x squared plus 10x plus 24. Okay, now that's going to help us with factoring. Because now what we have to do is we're going to be asked to factor x squared plus 10x plus 24. So it's like you don't know this, okay? You're just given the answer to that multiplication problem. And you're being asked, okay, what was the question? It's like Jeopardy. Here's the answer. What was the question? So we're going to have to go backwards. So what we want to do today is learn a couple tips and hints that are going to help us analyze our trinomial to figure out what it looked like to begin with. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about how to figure out if the signs are going to be both positive, both negative, or one positive and one negative. In this example, we know the signs are going to be the same because of this sign right here. So in a trinomial, if the last sign is positive, then we know the signs are going to be the same. That's because that last term comes from multiplying the last terms of the binomials. So if they're both positive, we'll get a positive, and if they're both negative, we'll get a positive. So we know the signs are going to be the same. Since they're the same, they are this sign. So this is a positive, so the signs are both going to be positive. So it's going to factor into x plus something, x plus something. Okay, so that's the first thing. We figured out what the signs were going to be. So the next thing we're going to do is figure out what those numbers are. So we need the factors of 24 that add up to 10. Remember? So 4 times 6 gave us 24, right? And 4x plus 6x adds up to 10x. So we need the factors of 24 that add up to 10. Let's look at the factors of 24 and talk about that. So the factors of 24 are 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. That's the only way you can multiply to get 24. And if you look at the sums, 1 times 24 is 25, 2 times 12, is 24, but if we add those, we get 14, and 3 plus 8 is 11, and 4 plus 6 is 10. So the pair that works, and there's only one in that list, the only pair that works is 4 and 6. That's the pair that when we multiply them, we get 24, and when we add them, we get 10. So how we write this answer doesn't matter. We can write it as x plus 4 times x plus 6 or x plus 6 times x plus 4. Either of those answers is correct. Okay, now that's how it works, and we're looking at the answer in front of us. We already knew what the answer was. Let's look at one when we don't necessarily know the answer. So x squared plus 14x plus 24. Okay, signs are going to be the same, both positive. We need the factors of 24 that add up to 14. We already did this, and the pair that works is 2 times 12. And so the answer is x plus 2 times x plus 12, or you could write x plus 12 times x plus 2. Remember, always check, okay? Always check by multiplying these out using FOIL and make sure you get back to where you started, and then you should never get an answer wrong. All right, look at another one. Now this time, that first sign is negative, okay? We don't look here first, we look here first. We still have signs being the same, but since this sign is negative, they're both going to be negative. So find the factors of 24 that add up to 11. You can look at the previous screen. We already did that where we have the list, and 3 and 8 are going to be the correct answer. So x minus 8 times x minus 3, or x minus 3 times x minus 8. Either way you write it is correct. All right. Now try one where I didn't give you all the options. So factor b squared plus, I fixed that. I saw there was an x here, so I paused the video and fixed it. But you want to factor b squared plus 11b plus 10. So we need the factors of 10 that add up to 11. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can figure that out? And did you get b plus 1 times b plus 10? Because that's the right answer. All right, here's another example. In this example, we now see that the last sign of the last term is negative. And since the sign of the last term is negative, that means that the signs are not the same. So they're going to be different. One's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. Now, since they're different, that means that we need the factors of 10 whose difference is 3. Instead of adding those two factors together, we're going to be subtracting and trying to get 3 in the middle. Remember, the signs are different, and they are different because of this negative sign. So the factors of 10, the only way we can get 10 by multiplying is 1 times 10 or 2 times 5. And of those two choices, the only one whose difference is 3 is 2 and 5, because 5 minus 2 is 3. So it's one of these two options. This is not the same as before. Both of these don't work. See, these are going to give us different answers. If I multiply b plus 5 times b minus 2, that middle term is going to be positive 3b, which I want, and the last term will be negative 10, which I want. This is the correct answer. Notice here I will not get the correct answer. If I multiply this out, I'm going to get a negative 5b and a positive 2b, which will leave a negative 3b in the middle, which is wrong. I still get negative 10, but I don't get a positive 3b for the second choice. So the correct answer is just b plus 5 times b minus 2. Now the order, you can write b minus 2 first, is okay. But the positive sign needs to be with 5 and the negative sign has to be with 2. All right, you want to try one? Try to factor a squared minus a minus 42. Remember, you need the factors of 42 whose difference is 1. The factors of 42 are listed here. The differences are also listed, and the pair that works is 6 times 7. Now remember, it's important that you put that positive and negative sign with the correct factors. So a minus 7 and a plus 6 is correct because that's the only way you're going to end up with a negative sign in the middle. All right, let's go through a couple other examples of problems you might see in your homework. Here's one, 4y minus 45 plus y squared. First, you want to put the expression in the right order. So it should be y squared plus 4y minus 45, sorry. So find the factors of 45 whose difference is 4. Remember that last sign is negative, so the signs are going to be different, and we're going to be subtracting the factors. The factors are 1 and 45 and 5 and 9. And if I subtract them, 5 and 9 gives me 4 in the middle. Check out this one. 2x cubed minus 40x squared plus 192x. You want to factor out the GCF first. Now that GCF remains with my factors. So I have 2x times x squared minus 20x plus 96. So we need the factors of 96 whose difference is 20. Here are our options for the factors of 96. So which pair, when you subtract them, gives you 20? 4 and 24 is the correct answer. Make sure you put that positive and negative sign with the correct number. Since this is a negative 20, I need the negative sign to be in front of 24. Okay, one last example. M squared plus 5m plus 5. We need to find the factors of 5 that add up to 5. Well, the only factors of 5 are 1 and 5, and they don't add up to 5. They add up to 6. So there is no answer to this one. So we say that this expression is prime. I hope this helps. See you next time.